Today I'll be discussing a project that's titled Dark Aerial. The project begins with a pattern for the bodice. I created mine on a me-sized body cast mannequin, which if you're interested in creating your own body cast mannequin, you can find a tutorial for that at mindycosplay.com. Once you have sketched that pattern onto your tape, cut it out, try it on, make sure everything fits properly. Next, you will trace that onto craft foam. For this project, I chose 2mm craft foam because I did not want it to be bulky. Pieces get glued together with contact cement. You paint a thin layer of that onto each piece, allow it to dry, and then stick them together. If you end up with some seams that do not want to stay stuck together, you can reinforce that with some fabric glued onto the back, paint some glue over top, and once that's all dry, the seam will stay stuck. Next, you are going to need to heat mold some areas of this bodice. Of course, the entire thing you can heat mold to fit the shape of your body. Especially in this area though, around the bust line, you're going to need to heat it up. Hold it in place for the shape that you want, and then once it's cooled, it will stay that way. You need to try it on, make sure it fits properly, heat it up to make any adjustments as needed. Once it's all heat molded to your body, you can start adding detailing. For this, I used some thin strips of that same craft foam. Add your contact adhesive to each piece. Starting at one end, stick it down carefully. Once you reach the end of that area, then you can trim it to fit exactly. I wanted this project to look speed up and well used, so I took out my Dremel, wore down all the edges, add some slashes and gashes, being careful not to go too deep and cut right through. Once it's satisfactorily distressed, take a look, see if you have any cracks, seams that didn't quite meet, little bits where the detailing wasn't stuck down properly. If you do, use the tip that I picked up from Evil Ted Smith, which is bathroom caulk. Just pipe some of that into the crack or the seam that didn't meet perfectly. Smooth it in with a damp finger, some paper towel to get rid of all the excess, and once it's dried, that crack is magically gone but still flexible. The next step is to seal it. For this project, I chose Breastplate because it is flexible, it's still stretchy for how fitted and tight this piece is, and it also adds a little bit of heft because I did use such thin craft foam, so it feels a lot sturdier now after about 4 coats. I'm going to be coming back in later with some acrylic paint in silver and gray to bring out the detailing, to bring out the distressing. For now, let's take a look at the skirt. This is patterned using some scrap fabric, seamed at the waist so that it fits nicely at the back. It's going to be covered from the waist all the way to the floor in these scales. So, I cut out my pattern on 2 different fabrics. The outside fabric is of course black, so that if it shows through a little bit, it's not going to stand out with the scales. The inside fabric is contrasting because this will show. The design is open and meant to be worn with leggings. The inner fabric serves the double purpose of hiding any glue that might show through once the scales get glued on. The closure is very simple at this point, just some Velcro back to the fabric. However, it may get a little bit heavy once all these scales are attached, so I will probably add some additional fastenings later on. For the scales, found this lovely shelf liner which already has a fishy texture imprinted on it. Side note, this is not heat moldable, but for this application I like it because it's flexible and it doesn't get marks imprinted in it, say if you're sitting on the edge of the chair. I would really like to be able to sit in this costume. I have a lot of scales to cut out still, but I'm also experimenting with different paint effects on the edges because I do want to tie the bodice and the scales together visually by adding some of those same acrylic paints. This will also bring out the lovely overlapping scale pattern that this will have once I glue on all 150 or so scales. Also going to enclose the edge of these scales where they stop here so that it looks deliberate and neatly contained. For that, I'm going to use some 3/8" foam floor matting. This will be cut to dremel down to blend in nicely, and it will make this look nice and neat. Also give me a chance to emphasize the waist and to give it a little bit of a mermaid flair. To close up this bodice, it's going to have a lining, of course constructed from the same lining fabric as the skirt. It will join with a zipper so I can still breathe. I have a little bit of stretch. And this finished piece will just velcro over top to conceal the zipper. I'm going to be making a weapon because I like costumes with weapons. Also going to make a crown that's inspired by a shark jawbone with some gnarly prehistoric teeth. That's all I have on this project for now.